This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Ride. There he is, locked and loaded and ready to go. What'd you think of last night? Holy shit. Wow.
Well, as I've told a lot of my friends, this is the best case scenario in terms of allowing the franchise to move forward and to draft a quarterback of the future. Had this happened in week 13 when this team was competing for a playoff spot or trying to compete for a playoff spot, I think it'd be much more devastating, right? Because you'd be invested in this season. Now at least you know you have to go out and get a quarterback of the future and, move on.
Yeah, now we'll see if McDaniel can do what Flo was refusing to do. Hey, asshole, tank.
He may not have to try very hard, though.
No, the way he coaches, holy shit, dude. I'm serious. Like, there's no doubt that he has a great mind for play design.
Mm-hmm.
But game day coaching, bro, wow, it is.
Oh, I got a lot of opinions on the Dolphins.
He's a space cadet right now, bro. He's a
for
space
sure. For sure. And I would say this, they're just poorly constructed. How you draft a quarterback with his injury history to begin with what he went through in college, Alabama, which was a serious injury, hip injury.
Yeah.
And then decide, well, we're just going to get him a bunch of speedy wide receivers and running backs, and that's how we're going to make him great without giving him offensive linemen. It's just dumb. So to me, my issues are with the organization. How do you construct a team like that when you've got a quarterback who already was damaged goods coming in?
Very Andrew Luckish.
Yes.
Not that Andrew Luck was injury prone. He became injury prone because he took the beating, but you knew you had a great quarterback, and then you don't invest in the line. And then not only that, you drafted a guy with a bad hip, and you have Jesse Davis protecting him. And, Michael Brockers is slamming him from the get-go. And then you end up hiring coaches who have a level of arrogance who refuse to spend money on guards and centers.
Yep.
So that, then that compounds to the already existing issue that you drafted a quarterback and you refuse to protect him. Like, how does that make any sense whatsoever? So yeah, it's poorly constructed, unfortunately. Yeah, it's all open game now. But man, that was. And by the way, you brought up a phenomenal point. That's a great point I never thought of. This is when you want it to happen, because if it does happen in week 10 or 13 or 15, and you've got a whole bunch of wins, you're way up on the draft board already at that point. You're not going to get the pick of the litter. Now you can kind of manipulate the situation a little bit and, set yourself up to have one of the top 3 picks in the draft now.
You want to get a Carson Beck or a Cam Ward. If Cam Ward and Miami end up having the kind of season they think they can, I mean, maybe he's the guy that you build around for the future. I don't know.
Shador, no.
Shador, I'm not as big a fan of. I think he makes some poor decisions, kind of reckless. But Cam Ward is a better passer.
I almost feel that he does that because he's on a bad team, and he has to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's not him or Travis Hunter or there's that one other kid, I'm forgetting his name now, there aren't a lot of playmakers there. And so it's almost like I almost feel like at times he's been, whether at Jackson State or here, he's in a position where he has to carry you more and take chances. Maybe if he was on a better team, he can just kind of go through what he's supposed to do and get the ball to the people that are, open and stuff.
Potentially, but has this organization proven to you they can draft and develop offensive linemen?
No. I mean, it's been bad. It's been really bad with offensive linemen for many, many years now.
Yeah, it's been really bad. And I think, if the Dolphins want an example of how you build it, I think Mario's doing a pretty good example right down the street, right? Offensive and defensive line.
Yeah. Well, he's a former offensive lineman. He gets that. And if you don't win there, you're not going to win in the game. And unfortunately, Miami hasn't been able to punch people in the mouth on the O-lines and D-lines, and that's why they end up on the short end of the stick. All right, so what is the challenge this week for Miami against Ball State?
Stay healthy, stay on target. Don't lose focus. You're 36.5 point favorite. Look like it for
Yep.
4 quarters. The one thing that is affected this program for far too long is getting into these kind of games and being unprepared and looking silly for a half because you can't get your act together.
Right.
I think what I want to see from this team is that they come in ready to take care of business and look like a top 10 ranked team. Then you can continue to believe in what they're doing there. You can start to buy in more. Hey, this is real. This isn't just, you know, a quarterback throwing the ball over the yard and that's why they're blowing people out. There's legitimate growth overall in the program. So that's what I want to see. I want to see them tackle well. I want to see them play a good assignment football and beat Ball State by at least 36.5 points.
Nobody's going to come back from injuries this week, right? No reason.
No reason. I think Jalen Rivers potentially could if he wanted to, but I think it's more of a matter of them getting snaps for some other guys and not rushing him back from what kept him out. I think Ruben Bain, I told you all along, I think he's most likely Virginia Tech or USF, depending on how quickly they want to bring him back.
Although I
Uh,
did like your idea on USF to get him a couple reps so
yeah,
he's more sharper for Virginia Tech. I do like that idea.
I agree. I think that's potentially what you could see. He comes back, plays 20 snaps. The other guys get in the game, do their job. I mean, they don't need him right now. And to me, let a guy completely heal over whatever it is that he's dealing with, especially soft tissue injury, so that when the games do count and you're trying to win an ACC championship, you're healthy and 100%.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there. The on defense for Miami, who you think could have a big game in this one?
I'll tell you what, the guy that's impressed me the most has been Tyler Barron. He's got 4 sacks through his first 2 games,
Looks like a
second
monster.
second in the country. Yeah, 5.5 tackles for loss, and people were saying, "Oh man, this guy's a stud. Wait till you see him." But he was coming off of a shoulder injury. I thought for sure he's going to look slow. It's going to take him a little while to get going, but he has been dominant. I mean, the sack that he had last week when he basically threw the right tackle into the quarterback and knocked the quarterback back with the right tackle was really, really impressive. You can see he's really learning how to play the game at a high level with Jason Taylor as his coach. Kind of a long, lanky build like JT, same type of player. So to me, I think that's a guy that again we gotta keep our eyes open for. I'd like to see Akeem Mesidor start to get rolling. Haven't really seen him do a whole lot so far. He's one guy, and then a lot of the freshmen and sophomores, guys that are in that front seven that you're trying to build depth with. Justin Scott, the 5-star D lineman that they got in this last cycle. You want to see him get more work, get into that rotation because he's a stud, man. And not only that, but you're going to have a lot of big time recruits in the audience watching. So you want your freshmen to play well.
I'm with you there. By the way, Caneswear, don't forget you can use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off whether you're in person or you go online. And if you live out of town or too far away and you can't go to Caneswear, when you go online, you can use our code BIG010. But also, if you order over $99, folks, you will get free shipping at Caneswear. So check it out at caneswear.com. Manny, one more question, but it's college related, but it's also Dolphin related. What are the list of quarterbacks that are coming out?
Well, Carson Beck, I think, is absolutely number one. He's the starting quarterback at Georgia, put up legitimate numbers. I think he runs a pro offense over there, knows how to get the ball. He doesn't have necessarily elite receivers, and yet he still puts up consistent numbers every single week. I think Georgia's going to win the national championship this year. I think he's the no-brainer number one pick going into the draft right now. I think after that, there's a variety of guys. I think Cam Ward is working his way up the boards. I think Shedeur Sanders is a guy that certainly NFL scouts were intrigued by at the end of last season in terms of targeting a guy and saying he's up high on the draft board. There's other guys that I think could do it. Quinn Ewers, we'll see what he does at Texas this year. I wasn't overly impressed with Quinn last year. In terms of the way he distributed the football, I thought his receivers made him look good. A lot of weeks they made the playoff, but I think this year he's showing you signs. He's better. He's improved. So he'll be somebody I think certainly to watch. Those are the guys, and then Jackson Dart at Ole Miss I think is kind of the fifth guy that I would say right now is on the radar. But we'll see how the season plays out. But for me, it's Carson Beck, who I think is the best guy right now in college.
Yeah. The dark kid is the Ole Miss kid, right?
Yes, the Ole Miss quarterback. Yep.
Yeah, he can move around. He's got an arm, dude. He's got a nice
He,
arm.
he does. They just haven't played anybody yet this season. So we'll see when the SEC schedule cranks up and they start getting some legitimate opponents on the schedule. But he's solid. I mean, look, there's quality guys.
I haven't seen enough of him to know about his accuracy. Is it like sharp?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know what his completion percentage was last year, but yes, he is a solid. To me, he's a solid. He's a first round caliber type quarterback. Is he a top 10 pick? Probably not. If the Dolphins win a bunch of games and they're picking in the middle of the draft,
that's
if
funny.
that happens, maybe Jackson Dart is who you target at that point. But to me, it's Beck who's at the top of the draft.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and catch his work. Better yet, subscribe to The Athletic. We'll catch up on Tuesday with another Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report, my man. Thank you.